patient in Mr. Brownworth's room.
Never seen anyone deader.
Murdered.
Wow.
Coming soon.
That is
Let me see.
Okay, bye.
Hey, Crystal, you called us?
Oh yes, thank you for coming so quickly. He's my favorite teacher, but I can't believe he's not just come.
Oh, don't worry. We'll find whoever did this and we'll punish him.
So, what were you doing when you found Mr. Brownworth?
It was right before homeroom. It was taking a whole for him to let us in, so everybody was just waiting outside. And I remember Mrs. Olsen walked past me and taught me my handphones.
Oh, well, how did you end up finding him?
Everybody else was in homeroom, so I tried to handle it and it was unlocked. When I stepped into the room, he was just lying right there beside the desk.
Thanks for calling us, Crystal. We'll let you know as soon as we know something.
Marion, can we talk to you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What were you doing this morning before school?
Well, I got to school and I went and got some coffee, and then I went down to the workroom, picked up some papers. Yeah, I think that's about it.
What about Mr. Brownworth? Did you talk to him at all?
No, I didn't talk to him. I do remember walking by his room and hearing like him arguing with somebody, but
Oh, did you hear who it was?
no, it was just random words and something about history night.
Thanks, Mrs. Marion. We'll let you know when we hear something.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Mrs. Bowser, we need to talk to you really quick.
I don't know what you want to talk to me about. I don't know anything about what happened with Mr. Brownworth.
Oh, this will only take a few minutes. We just want to know, like, what happened before school.
Before school?
Yeah.
Well, I got here really early, as usual. Then I went to Mrs. Olson's room to see if she was there, because I had a question for her, but she wasn't there. So maybe she was late or something. And then I went downstairs to the reception office, got some stuff out of my mailbox. And then I went to the copy room, grabbed some papers, and I just came and sat at my desk and just graded for the rest of the morning.
And you didn't see Mr. Brownworth at all?
Did I see Mr. Brownworth before 8 o'clock? I don't think I've ever seen Mr. Brownworth before.
Really?
Yeah. No, I didn't see Mr. Brownworth.
Okay, well, that's really helpful. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. You're right. She's here.
So, what do you think, Sarah?
I say we go back to the beginning and look at the things each of the stories had in common.
Good idea. We started with Crystal. What clues did she give us?
Well, she told us that Mrs. Olson walked past here before they found him.
Right. And the teacher, she told us that Mrs. Olson was late to her room this morning.
Well, what about Mrs. Mary, though? She didn't say anything about Mrs. Olson.
No, but she did say she heard Mr. Brownworth arguing with someone about history night. What if the person arguing with him was Mrs. Olson?
I say we question her next. Mrs. Olson?
Oh, Sara, Afiya. How are you? How may I help you?
We'll try to be quick, Miss Olson. We just need to ask you a few questions about what you saw this morning before school.
What do you mean? I didn't see anything before school. What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're saying.
Okay, we aren't accusing you, Mrs. Olson.
All right. Proceed with your questions, if you must.
What were you doing this morning before school?
I arrived at my customary hour. I filled up my water bottle from the filtered water in the teacher's building, office room thing. I came back up to my classroom, minding my own business, nothing exciting.
And you didn't speak to Mr. Brownworth at all?
What gave you that idea?
Miss Mary told us she heard people arguing.
What are you doing, changing the list of performances?
I'm doing what I want. I am the head of the history department, okay? This is just so typical. This is just like all those arguments about Lincoln.
That's because you never listen. How can you disagree? He's the greatest president we've ever had. If it were my history department, it would be all Lincoln all the time.
Fine! I admit it. You've caught me. I did it. I killed Mr. Brownworth.
You did what?
We started arguing, and then he said these things about Lincoln, and when someone says something about Lincoln, I just go a little insane, and I snapped. And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for you kids.
So you killed Mr. Brownworth?
Yes, I did it.
Alberta Scott, you're under arrest by the FBI for the murders of Sarah Weaver, Timothy Mills, Jeremy White, and Lars Brownworth. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Alberta Scott.
You're an FBI agent?
Yes, I am. We had Alberta on our most wanted list for years. She's been going from school to school, killing history teachers that stood in her way.
How did you end up here?
Eventually I was sent here to work undercover as a math teacher and keep an eye on her. When you girls came to investigate, I knew I had the right woman.
I did it all for Lincoln. It was all for him.
You want to start?
And what? Would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids.
Oh, she's under arrest. Miss Bowser, can we take a few minutes of your time?
We just want to know what happened before school.
Before school?
Yes.
Yeah.
You said keep it on your faces.
Okay, wait.